Okay, there's something that we need to talk about going on in Ohio. City reshaped by Haitian immigrants lands in an unwelcome spotlight. Yeah, because Donald J. Trump is saying that people are eating dogs and they're hanging cats. They're hanging the cats up in the trees. They're hanging them. They're gonna slaughter the cats. Oh, a guy who literally kills cows by the truckload. He's constantly. I don't think Donald Trump has had a meal devoid of animal flesh in the last 50 years. I don't think a meal goes by. First of all, man never misses a meal. Secondly, no meal goes by without killing an animal. But he is concerned about Haitians killing the poor dogs and cats of Springfield, Snowball and Santa's Little Helper. They're really concerned about Snowball and Santa's Little Helper in Springfield, Ohio. They've been reshaped by immigrants in the last few years without attracting much notice. Here's my thing. Look, this article talks a lot about what happens when a bunch of immigrants come to your city, and you know what it sounds like. Here's what it sounds like. Well, we try to be we try to be welcoming. Look at the sign; it says "Welcome to our city," and 15,000 people came, and we were happy. We were happy to have them. 15,000 people is a lot of people for a smaller town. So 15,000 people walk in, and we're happy to have them. We're open arms. But then, they got their own way of doing stuff. And then property values go up. And then it's harder to find people to hire. And also, it's harder to get a job sometimes. Yeah, that's called growing pains. That's called let me put it this way. You might even call it gentrification. It's not gentrification in the term that you'd prefer, because it's the same argument when, let's say, a predominantly minority oriented the other way, right? It's instead of a bunch of white people where a bunch of black people are coming in. It's the same story when a bunch of black people have a town and a bunch of white people come in. They came in, we were happy to have them. Most of them were pretty respectful in the way we do things. And then there's a Whole Foods, and then the property value goes up and we can't afford to live here anymore. It's always the same argument. When people come into your town, property values go up. San Francisco had the same thing. San Francisco was doing great. It was an expensive town, but it wasn't like it was today. And today, because of all the people from Silicon Valley coming in and buying up all the property, nobody can afford to live there unless you're going to live there with 10 roommates. Raise your family with 10 strangers. Then you could live in San Francisco as a normie. But if you're not a billionaire, it's really hard to live in places like San Francisco now because of who came in. You could say that about any town ever. This isn't a Haitian problem. This isn't even an immigrant problem. When town people move around, this type of shit happens. You could close a factory in the town next door. If your factory's still going, they're all going to move to you, and it's going to make things a little difficult as your town grows. It's just a problem that your police need to catch up, your infrastructure. Maybe we should put a stop sign there. We've been talking about putting a stop sign there for years, and we never did because we didn't have any accidents. But now there's accidents because there's more traffic. They're bitching about traffic. They're bitching about parking, and they're not eating the dogs and cats. It's imbecilic. It's so racist. It's an old, tired playbook to say that, oh yeah, 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 the immigrants, oh yeah, the Jews, oh yeah, whoever, they're eating something that we don't eat. They're eating someone in this case that we don't eat. If you're an animal eater, it shouldn't even matter to you that they're eating the pets. But they're not eating the pets. It's bullshit. It's always been a lie. It's an old fashioned lie. It's old fashioned racism. Welcome to our city sign hangs from a parking garage downtown where a coffee shop, bakery, and boutique line a main drag. When the people first come, they love it because all your little shops down on Main Street start making more money because people are coming in. People love it because more sales tax is happening. The flag advertising culture fest, which describes as an annual celebration of unity through diversity. Towns love immigrants coming in because it drives up revenue for the city almost immediately. After the election and everybody's done using Springfield, Ohio as a talking point for immigration reform, we are going to be the ones still living through the challenges and coming up with the solutions. That's true. Executive director of the Haitian American Foundation for Democracy said she laughed at times in recent days, seeing the absurdity of the false claims, but seeing the comments repeated on the national television by the former president was painful. Yeah, I bet it was painful because it's always painful to be singled out and called the problem. It always is. This is always my thing about like oh my god, all the white people are moving here cuz it's cheap. Yeah, what did you expect to happen? Gentrification. Yeah, it sucks, but this is part of it. Like, what do you want? What do you want to change? You want a red line? What do you want to do? You want to keep everyone separate? The black people stay on that side of the town. The white people stay on that side of the town. The immigrants stay on that side of the town. Is that what we want? Is that the American dream? That's not the American dream. Shit. People as early as Bradford were writing about how America is beautiful because a Lutheran could live next to a Catholic without killing each other. That's what the American dream is. People living next to each other without calling each other names because they're all in it together. Then you see each other as neighbors. They're eating their neighbors' dogs. It's so unfair to unjust and completely contrary to what we've contributed to the world, what we have contributed to this nation for so long. That's right. Haitian immigrants were spread online these falsehoods by JD Vance, and then it was on the debate, which I was happy about. I'm glad they put it on the debate because I was going to say something about it anyway. I was going to be talking about this all week anyway, and then they started talking about the debate. Now the whole world's talking about it. It's fantastic. Officials in Springfield have tried to tamp down the misinformation by saying there's no credible or detailed reports of any pets being abducted. State leaders are trying to help address some of the real challenges the city faces. Yeah, because they have real challenges. Here we go. Many Haitians have come to the U.S. to flee poverty and violence. They have embraced President Joe Biden's new and expanded legal pathways to enter and have shunned illegal crossings, accounting for only 92 border arrests out of more than 56,000 in July. So they're following the rules, and still they're getting. So they're following the rules, and still they're getting shit on. I thought these Republicans were all about legal, and they keep on saying, I'm not against the immigration. I'm against illegal immigration. Illegal. No, these people have done it legally. What's the problem? Oh, they're black. That's what it is. An estimated 300,000 Haitians in the United States on June 3rd could remain in the country at least through February 2026 with eligibility for work authorization under a law called Temporary Protected Status to spare people from being deported to strife-torn countries. About 45 miles from the state capital, Columbus suffered a steep decline in manufacturing sector toward the end of the last century, but its downtown has been revitalized in recent years as more Haitians arrived and helped meet the demand for labor. What do you know? Haitians now account for 15% of the population. There you go. But don't worry. Also on X, Vance has said that the people have reported that they're there. Where's our borders are, asking them to be deported. Yeah. It's so fucking ridiculous. She said Haitian clients in Springfield had told her that out of fear, they are now considering leaving the city. Talk about unity. Talk about welcome to our city and culture fest. Listen, if you don't like immigrants, then you shouldn't be living in America. America is a country of immigrants. If you don't like them, then look in the mirror and start hating yourself. Immigrants are awesome. They bring in new, fresh ideas. Sometimes it's hard because they're a little bit different from us. That's where grace and compassion comes in. You're supposed to treat people with grace and compassion because these borders that we talk about, we made them up. Old people made them up. Old rich people made them up. Those people that are old, rich, white slave owners, they're the ones that made up all these borders, okay? So don't tell me that, oh, we need to respect the border and all this. Listen, I'm pretty wishy-washy about the border anyway, but one thing I am is pro-immigrant. Immigrants are usually pretty friggin' great. They love America. They want to be part of what we're doing. Yeah, they got some weird ideas from the old country, but they're willing to let go of a lot of them in order to come to this country. I myself have moved to other people's countries, and I have found it very difficult. And also, not even other people's countries, other people's states. If you're from California and you move to Virginia, they look at you like, well, you're not from around here. Who's your daddy? Who was your daddy? Was you born here? They don't like the fact that you come to their areas because they're xenophobes. They don't like the fact that you're not one of them. It doesn't have to be Haitian. It could be just you're American. You could anyone who's changed states knows this. You get looked at funny because you're not from round here. That's why people come to places like California because they can feel somewhat more welcome. Yeah, in California, we kind of make fun of some people, some yokels who come over and they got their old ways and they just talk a little slow and stuff like that. But over time, you're one of us so quickly. And I feel like that openness is something that the rest of America should strive for. Maybe the rest of the world should strive for. Because after all, aren't we all involved in the same human experiment, on the same human journey? Aren't we all doing the same thing, just trying to live in this world, trying to make it a better place? God damn. Oh, Bartleby. Oh, humanity.